You're a pie maker, so if we were playing that word association game and I said to you, sweet potatoes, what would you say? Sweet potato pie, right? Now I'm going to make it a little harder and tell you that it still has to be a baked good, but you can't say pie. What would you say? Sweet potato what? It gets a little more difficult, doesn't it? Well, stick around for a minute, because when we come back, I'm going to give you one delicious answer you won't want to miss. So, even though you probably know me as the Dean of the Pie Academy, I love to bake all sorts of things, sweet and savory. Except fancy cakes. I do a lot of everyday cakes like coffee cakes and pound cakes, but I've never had the patience for pretty layer cakes. Back in my hippie days, I did make a carrot cake for some friend's wedding, but they ended up getting divorced, so I took that as a sign. Now, this time of year, I like to make fall quick breads. I always want a little something sweet and easy with my morning coffee, and quick breads just fit the bill nicely. There's a recipe in The Harvest Baker, my latest book, that's a favorite of mine in this category. It's called Spiced Sweet Potato and Chocolate Chip Bread. There's quite a mouthful. I call it a bread, at least. That helps tone down any guilt associated with eating it, but frankly, it's more of a cake in disguise. And by the way, nothing against pumpkin. I use it all the time in my baking, and I love it. But sweet potatoes are just so perfect in a quick bread like this. They add that gorgeous orange hue, and they help keep the bread moist for days and days. I swear I can have a slice of this on Monday, and the piece I eat on Friday is just as good, maybe even better. Now, the chocolate chips, I'll admit, they're something of an indulgence. It would have been much more sensible to use raisins or chopped dates instead, but there's something just so irresistible and a little naughty about chocolate chips for breakfast that I couldn't resist. My mom would have approved. She had a legendary sweet tooth. I used to tease her and tell her that her definition of a dysfunctional family was one that didn't have at least 3 desserts on hand at any given time. Now, I have a rule that I sometimes actually follow, that when I bake something sweet, I have to bake something savory next. So the next thing I bake from the Harvest Baker will probably be a quiche or a pot pie. I love those. Or maybe some potato burger buns. They're not exactly savory, but they're not sweet either. I just made and froze a batch of my favorite veggie burger recipe, and I need something to put them on, so maybe those. We'll see. Meanwhile, if you'd like the recipe for this scrumptious sweet potato bread, the link below will take you to it. And if you like harvest baking recipes like this one, I hope you'll check out The Harvest Baker. Take care. See you later.